every damn time I come here.
How's that work?
Hey,
Pietro.
how you doing, man?
Hey, how's it going, man? You want a drink?
Yeah, mind if I grab a drink off
here? Here you go. Drink up.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, cheers. So how was last week's show?
You know, I tried. I thought it was okay. You know?
Yeah.
I did the best I could for the first time.
That's the best you could. Hate to see the worst. God, it made me want to kill myself.
Oh, man.
I thought it was all right. Shit.
I mean, I gotta...
Yeah. Well, let me tell you this. To get to the top, you got to start at the bottom. And last week's show, that was a good way to get started at the bottom.
You know what? When you're right, Dan.
Yeah, it's not often.
I think I should give that a shot. What do you think?
I'll drink a shot.
What?
I'll drink a shot.
Okay. I'm gonna go do my show.
No.
I'm gonna go do my show, you guys. Thank you so much for the encouragement.
No problem, buddy. No problem.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, wait. Money for the drink. Come on.
I got you, man.
Hey, not again. There's no way to go but up.
God damn it. Thank you so much for watching Planet Pietro, you son of a bitch. Johnny, let's do one real quick. Let's start the show.
I scratched my armpit at the end of that take. I hope it worked.
Pietro's Planet. My name is Pietro and I've got a planet. My name is Pietro and you are on it. And my name is Pietro. I've got a planet. Oh, come on and sit on the toilet with me, Pietro. Yes, Pietro's got a planet. Pietro. Hey, Pietro's got a planet. Pietro. Hey, Pietro's got a planet. Come on and sit on my toilet with me.
What is he doing, baby?
Are you videotaping?
Oh, come on, man. We'll get some
video.
come on, man.
Thank you for tuning in to Planet Pietro. My name is Pietro Di Gennaro, and we got all kinds of things exciting happen here on Planet Pietro. We got a new camera. Things are looking bright here for this show, only on the Rock and Roll Broadcast Service. Man, we got a hell of a show lined up for you tonight. We might have King Kong calling in from Berlin later on in the program. Hopefully everything's going all right for him in the pandemic. We got the Woolly Bushmen coming up later. I think we might have a track from the band Rumbler that's going to be on the program later. And I mean, we got all kinds of stuff happening on this program. I'm super excited. And let's cut right to the chase and jump into a music video, shall we? Here is Street the Beat with Crazy Boy. Check it out here on Planet Pietro.
Watch out, there goes that crazy boy. 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 When I was young, about 17, everyone thought that I was lazy. They used to laugh and call me names, and at times they even call me crazy. Watch out, there goes that crazy boy. Better watch out, there goes that crazy boy. Watch out, there goes that crazy boy. Better watch out, there goes that crazy boy. I never never worried and never cared. I played my games and never shared. The nasty things I used to do, I did them all because of you. Watch out, they go that crazy. I said you better watch out. Watch out, they go that crazy. Better watch out. Watch out, they go that crazy. I said you better watch out. Watch out, they go that crazy, crazy boy. You better watch out. Watch out. I said you better watch out. Watch out, they go that crazy. Better watch out. Watch out. I said you better watch out. Watch out, they go that crazy, crazy boy. When I was young, about 17, everyone thought that I was lazy. They used to laugh and call me names. And at times they even called me crazy. Watch out, they go that crazy. I said you better watch out. Watch out, they go that crazy. Better watch out. Watch out, they go that crazy. I said you better watch out. Watch out, they go that crazy. I said you better watch out. Watch out, they go that crazy. I said you better watch out. Watch out, they go that crazy. Better watch out. Watch out, they go that crazy. I said you better watch out. Watch out, they go that crazy.
That was Street the Beat, song known as Crazy Boy. And I got to tell you, that band in the early 70s were better known as the Ghetto Brothers. They were from Bronx, and they were a rock and roll gang during that time period in New York. And they were a peaceful gang, but they like to make music on the side as well. And they made one record, and you got to check that record out. It's on Spotify. Just type in the Ghetto Brothers, and you'll thank me later. Man, we got a hell of a show for you. But first, I got to thank the Rock and Roll Broadcast Service for taking a guy like me off the street. And they brought me in. I was doing these shows, but I was only really showing them to my friends and stuff. And they're like, no, you need to show this to the world. And I want to thank them for getting an Italian guy like me flying straight and narrow. And I got to say, working with these guys, I've noticed something. This show is pretty much run by Italians.
Yeah, that's right. Not only is my show, Planet Pietro, run by this Italian right here, the whole damn RRBS is run by Italians, which means if you don't watch my show on any show on this program, I'm gonna break this. Anna, tell them like it is.
È semplice, se non guardi Planet Pietro, lui viene e ti spacca le gambe. E io sinceramente starei anche un po' attento o attenta, perché Pietro ha un piccolo problema con l'alcol.
That's right. So tune in or you're gonna get it. Big time.
coffee in the same hotel. And I wonder if you're coming back. Darling, why you have to leave me like that? Funny how the tables turn. I don't want this bitch to burn. Still, I know you won't return. So I guess I keep dreaming.
Hey, how you doing? Can I get 2 rum and cokes for me and this guy right here? So here we are, hanging out at the sidebar at Incrowd Studios. And we're just chilling, having a good time. Oh, thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you very much. And cheers to you guys at home. Oh, nice and strong, just the way I like it. Anyways, I gotta tell you, I like to do a little segment on my program where I talk about records. See, me and Randy are record collectors, and because we're not fucking morons, we listen to records. So, therefore, I want to bring on a record that I really love compared to whatever trash he brought. This is a Cream record from 1967. This was coming out pretty much during the unfortunate Summer of Love. And this album has the hit songs, you know, Sunshine of Your Love and Strange Brew and many others. It's got a lot of blues songs on it because, you know, you got Eric Clapton, Mr. Slowhand, I believe they called him. And this album, look at this beautiful album artwork done by Mark Sharp. Fantastic record. I mean, this is probably the most beautiful psychedelic looking record I've ever seen. I mean, this album cover is fantastic. It's got Eric Clapton and Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker, one of my influential drummers that I love ever so much. No longer with us. But man, did he have a hell of a life. But anyway, this record right here is the shit. And Randy, can we see what garbage you brought today?
A lot of S's in that speech. I brought this. Bruce Springsteen, Greetings from Asbury Park. Right, the first Springsteen record. You turn this fucking thing on, the first thing you hear is Blinded by the Light. You know, madmen, drummers, bombers, Indians in the summer. Right? Now, it's not as fancy as this fucking, you know, I get it, these guys are great musicians, but it's a lot of, you know,
yeah, it doesn't look like they spent much time and effort on that album.
It's a postcard, essentially, but then when you open it up, bam.
Oh, look at
Greetings
that.
from Asbury Park.
Oh, see, this record doesn't come with that.
You see what I'm saying?
Nice.
This record influenced, you know, bands like Thin Lizzy. All right?
Yeah, I can see that.
Spirit of the Night.
Yeah, but you know what? Unfortunately, it probably took this record in order for this record to happen.
No, Springsteen and Clapton are not even in the same class, man. Clapton, you talk about Clapton, you put Clapton in like the category of Hendrix or like John Coltrane. He's a, you know, musician, you know, he's that kind of guy. Springsteen's a songwriter.
Israeli gears, baby.
Okay, that's enough of that. He's a songwriter, man. He comes from the school of Dylan, man. Look at all these lyrics. It never ends with this guy. He's got some more shit to tell you.
Look at all these eyeballs.
It's funny. It's funny. You know what I mean? And this is before. This has got Vinny Lopez on drums. You know
oh, no, that sounds like some blood kin right there.
What do you mean?
So Italian.
Lopez?
Oh no, that was
What are you, an idiot?
I heard it was Vinny.
I don't know. Wait, is that who you said?
Vinny Lopez.
Oh, never mind. My bad.
Anyways, I recommend Does This Bus Stop at 82nd Street? That's my favorite track on this thing.
Oh, yeah?
Hey, bus driver, keep the change. That's how he starts that off. I know, strange.
I'm going to say my favorite track on this record has to be Dance the Night Away. It just flows nice, and you can relax and flow downstream. And it really takes you places, man. It paints beautiful colors in my mind whenever I hear it.
Yeah, you like
what does that
colors?
paint you, huh?
This actually paints images, right?
Yeah.
No colors. You know, this is like
what year did that record come out?
1973.
Oh, not too far off. Not very far off. You know. But hey, Summer of Love, Bruce Springsteen. What is it? Where's the, Jersey.
This is a great record. How dare you sleep on Springsteen? What's wrong with you?
It's a good record, but it's nothing like this.
It's not in the same class, man. This is like, you want to listen to this with your Highway 61s and you're bringing it all back home, you know what I mean? And your Bob Lynn's and your Nielsen's, you know what I mean? You listen to this stuff with your, Electric Ladyland, that kind of stuff.
Oh,
yeah,
whatever. Well, you folks at home, I would love to hear what you think. Which record do you think is better? Bruce Springsteen?
Or this horse shit?
Or this cream of the crop?
Good evening. No, we're not actually taping from a Chernobyl factory or from an Iraqi hospital, and these are not the illegitimate great-grandchildren of Boris Karloff, but they're the best group you'll ever see for a long time, and you'll never forget them, and at least we won't ever forget them, the Mummies.
Thank you so much for joining us here at Planet Pietro. It gives me my distinct pleasure to give you one of my favorite
Plans.
Thank you so damn much for tuning in to Planet Pietro. It gives me my distinct pleasure to give you one of my favorite bands in Atlanta, Georgia. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Rambler. Hit it, boys.
You're so tough. Show your stuff. Yeah. A big grinning white picking his nose. We'll begin with none alone. Like a dog, think about this song. You're so tough. Show your stuff. I'ma call you above you fool. So cool. Ooh, ooh. And now you're gonna play. Ooh, ooh. And all I really wanted was you. Ooh, ooh. All I really wanted was you. Ooh, ooh. All I really wanted was you.
It is my great pleasure to be with one of my favorite bands that are out of Orlando, Florida. They're called the Woolly Bushmen. I got them right here at Planet Pietro, and they're at my bar, which is called Peach's Bar Disappointment. Thank you.
I'm here to see the Woolly Bushmen.
So you guys are from Orlando, Florida. How's the music scene out there, really?
It's fantastic. It really is. There's only a select few venues to play, but everybody comes, especially Will's Pub.
Will's Pub's the greatest
And
place.
Oh, really?
it's a very tightly knit music community, so it's really nice.
All that scene here.
Yeah.
So what are some of the bands that you guys are influenced by?
Oh, the Sonics.
Sonics?
Sonics.
Absolutely.
Love the Sonics, Cynics.
Who else? The Bee Gees.
The Bee Gees.
I love the Bee Gees.
Barbara Streisand.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Michael Bolton.
Michael Bolton. Wow.
Chris Gaines.
Poison.
Is he from Florida?
Chris?
Chris Gaines?
I'm not sure.
It seems like he's from
Yeah. I'll to Florida.
Right on. Well, you know, it was really good to have you guys on my show. And like I said, they are one of my favorite bands. Every time I see them live, they just blow me out of my Beetle boots, baby. I'll tell you. I'm wearing cowboy boots right now.
But nobody can see.
Well, I'm trapped in a corner and I just don't know how I won't get out. Well, she loves herself in a bedroom and all she does is cry out. Well, it's wrong and I can't see her. It's the only way that I can dream. Oh, that's why that blue powder has got its hold on me. Whoa, why don't you even start to fight now? No, because I'm feeling quite alright. My hands start to shaking and my sweat starts to breaking when that powder turns to white. Well, they shoot me on the crack and when they feel like that my music kinda show. And then I have to get the
move the capo down to the 3rd fret. It's important to note. Yeah, thank you, Pietro.
Hey, so what song do we happen to have next, Sean?
The next song that we happen to have is one called Failed You, which features the capo on the 3rd fret.
Story of my life, ladies and gentlemen.
Something I think we've all been doing for a long time.
We've all been failing each other.
Here we go.
Features the rhythm section.
I failed you. You say the door is open, you could leave any day, baby. I failed you. You say the door is open, you could leave any day, baby. You could leave any day, baby. I know that it's time to put you down and say that you're not on your mind, but I believe in this life and got a head full of guilt and love and pride, so I go. Go. Stay anyway. Stay anyway today. Stay anyway. Oh no. Stay anyway. Stay anyway today. Stay anyway. Oh no. I failed you. You say there was nothing you could leave any day, baby. I failed you. You say I don't give up so easy. Try another way, baby. I don't give up so easy. Try another way, baby. I'll stay anyway. I'll stay anyway today. I'll stay anyway. Oh no. I'll stay anyway. I'll stay anyway today. I'll stay anyway. Oh no.
Thank you.
Man, I want to thank everyone that's participated in Planet Pietro tonight. I got to thank right off the bat the Woolly Bushmen for being here. And I got to thank Chase Tail from the band Rumbler. Make sure you check these guys out. And you just saw a clip from one of my bands that I played drums for, Massive 45. There's a place in Atlanta, Georgia, where called Flintwood Avenue. Flintwood's Live, it's called. And they film bands there. And also, just like we are, trying to keep music alive during this pandemic where it shut down everything, unfortunately. And, we're all trying to stick together here on this show. So I'm trying to bring these bands together to not give up, during this pandemic. And we got to stick together. And I think we can do that. And we really need to thank the Rock and Roll Broadcast Service for giving us a platform where we can do this on. Cheers to you guys. Anyway, I wanted to talk about a time that I got arrested a couple of years ago for having a good time all the time, which seems to be a problem that happens for me. I don't understand why. I really try to be a good human being towards everyone, and I hold on. What? Oh shit. Okay. We got some breaking news here on Planet Pietro. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I have an earpiece in. Can we get some better light in here for this? This is exciting, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, we got King Khan on Planet Pietro checking in. How you doing, baby? What's going on over there?
I've been holding my breath for at least 3 days now, and my face has just exploded with blood. But wait, let me.
Oh my God, there you are. Oh, you look so much better. You look so much better.
I feel good. I feel good. I was just, holding my breath for 3 days, waiting for you to answer this call.
That's funny. I used to do that back when I was a kid. I used to hold my breath. That was like a form of that, a way that I could get high in a way.
Oh man, I remember doing whippets.
That's
kind of like holding your breath. Or actually, I remember this game that people used to play. I think it was called the power squat, where you hyperventilate and then bears hug someone, and then they lift you up and squeeze you, and then you have to take a drag of a joint, and
man,
you're like transported into a black hole.
I guess those were simpler times back then,
It's cheap. It's a cheap way to get high,
So let's cut right to the chase, man. Me and you have a show on the Rock and Roll Broadcast System, RRBS.org.
It's our new public broadcasting for the world. I love it.
Yeah, this is really exciting. Why don't you go ahead and tell the audience a little about your new show?
So every Tuesday, people have Taco Tuesdays, but now we have Tarot Tuesdays.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And maybe we could combine those two and have Taco Tarot Tuesdays.
That sounds delicious.
But basically, I created this deck of tarot cards called the Black Power Tarot, and I worked with an artist from Ireland named Michael Eaton and Jodorowsky, actually, Alejandro Jodorowsky, the filmmaker.
Wow.
He was
one of my favorite filmmakers of all time. Seriously.
Me too. And I remember being mutated by his film in 2000. Mm-hmm. And around that same time, I made friends with Sophie Crumb, Robert Crumb's daughter. Okay. And we were just talking about, people that inspire us. And I asked her if she knew Jodorowsky, and then she told me that he does tarot readings every Sunday in Spain. Mind you, this is like 20 years ago. So she told me that like old ladies would be lining up at like 8 a.m. just to get a ticket to like get on a chance for him to read the cards. And I was just fascinated by the idea that he was a tarot reader. So I decided to try to pick it up and learn how to do it myself. And and then I fell into this. Basically, I guess you could call it it wasn't a rabbit hole. It was much larger. Like an elephant hole.
That sounds like a nice size hole.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4! Take me back to where I belong. I don't need no man like her. I don't need no talent like her. I don't need a mixing job. I don't need no mixing job. I don't wanna be a big old star. I don't wanna be a big old star. Just wanna play my guitar. I just wanna play my guitar. Take me back to where I belong.
How are you handling the pandemic over in Berlin, which is where you're calling from right now?
You know, it's starting up in all sorts of places again. The COVID is increasing. You know, it reminds me of a strange kind of time where when you have guests over and they don't wash their hands as soon as they get in the house, then you can't really trust them.
No.
So there's like this trust game that you play with people. I've been using my tomahawk actually, and I got this one. This is not a tomahawk, but this is a very old German axe.
Nice.
That my mother-in-law gave me, and it's actually there's all sorts of dried blood and stuff on this thing. It's very very old and ancient. I just got this recently when I was traveling in Apache lands.
Oh,
that's an eagle feather also attached to it, and then I was given this tomahawk here from Mohawk Indian brother of mine. This belonged to his dad, who passed away, Ronnie LeBourne. So this is a Mohawk one, and look, it looks like a potato, kind of, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But this is not the kind of potato that you want smashing your skull in. You know what's a challenge is to try to bring this as a brown person into an airport. You know, what I'll usually do is I'll strap it onto my leg under my pants.
Yeah.
And that way, like, the only way they could find it is if they X-ray me. You know.
I would hate to get one of those upside the head, that's for sure. But hey,
oh my God, this is definitely doing a lot of damage.
I'm from well.
Yeah, this could penetrate your microphone hair you have there.
I do look like a microphone. I tell people that quite often.
You should get sponsored by. You should get sponsored by Shure.
Sure. I'll get right on.
That's the commercial right there. It's just your face and Sure.
Oh,
I would
man.
buy Mike.
So, I want to talk about this jazz record that you've been putting out. I've been hearing so much stuff. I love jazz. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. He's got this bad boy coming out right here.
This is my first jazz album actually. I've been playing so much rhythm and blues all my life that I guess what happened with this pandemic. I mean, there was a personal crisis in our family where my wife actually had to get a cancer removed. And it was a pretty big operation, and we were actually very lucky that it happened before the pandemic. Right. You know, so and then we had to wait 6 months to find out if the cancer had like spread or anything like that. So it was a very trying time for all of us in the family, and somewhere in the beginning of that thing, I started doing making all this jazz music, and it was really kind of like an internal or an excavation into like a part of my soul that where I found peace actually, and my wife was always sitting here in the living room while I was like composing this music. Basically, Dan Burke funded this whole tour. This is my wife. Hi. We're on TV. We're on TV. Hi. That's Lil Mama Khan.
Hey, how you doing?
Nice my magic babe. So in 2005, the Shrines had invaded Canada for the first time, and I had a day off in Montreal, where my family's from, and I was staying at my sister's apartment, which was in downtown Montreal. And I went out for a second, and I ran into the girl that I lost my virginity to, and I hadn't seen her since I was like 18 or 19. I lost my virginity when I was 17. I was a late bloomer.
That's a good time.
It was a good time, yeah. I don't know if it was a good time for her really, but it was. But anyway,
it's usually not.
We're still buddies, or maybe So I ran into her in the street, and I was like, what are you doing here? And she was like, oh, actually, I have an unofficial date with a member of the Sun Ra Orchestra. And I was like, my eyes just, my head, and I was like, because Sun Ra Orchestra is one of the main reasons I changed from playing kind of regular punk rock to, trying to embrace free jazz and soul music together, and so I was, a really big, it was a huge influence on me. And so when she told me that, I was just like amazed, and I told her, like, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to be that third wheel now that comes on your date to meet, like, this member of the orchestra.
With the ashes all around my door, angels claws, mystics told us so. They're pretty far. There we go.
I dressed like kind of funky. I had a German hunter's hat, like a pheasant feather that was like 2 feet long or something. And I had this nice shirt on, and then Danny Thompson told me, like, turns around and he's like, "So, what are you gonna wear on stage?" What I'm wearing right now.
So where can people pick this record up at? Is it out yet, or?
Yes, it's actually right now available on Bandcamp, and that's probably the only place you can really get it. Actually, you have to order it. So, yeah, I think this album is a very serious piece of music, that came out of me, and it came out of me in a point of healing for me and my wife and the family, and also just remembering. That's why I call it the infinite ones. It's like.
Right.
For me, these people are infinite. They're like these crawfish that are just hanging off of our necks.
Speaking of crawfish, can you tell people what times they can tune into your show? And that's going to be every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. Our first episode is already online on YouTube, I believe. We have a great interview with the Beat Man.
Oh, yes.
And we really went deep. He got really emotional because I showed him a video that our kids recorded when they were like 15 years old.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
And he got a little bit weepy. This episode actually is a special one. I'm going to be talking mostly about the Black Power Tarot, about my experiences with 2 mentors, Melvin Van Peebles, the filmmaker, and Jodorowsky, and hopefully we're going to try to get John B from the Invaders on the horn and get him. I've been traveling all over the world with John B with the Black Power Tarot, and John B, for those people who don't know, was one of the founding members of the Invaders, Vietnam War vet. He was also he had meetings with Dr. King shortly before he got assassinated, where Dr. King was explaining how his plan was to incorporate the Invaders into the Poor People's Campaign, and then go out and talk to all the Black Power groups that had been forming all over the world, and start this kind of global solidarity movement, and teach and preach nonviolence, So if you could imagine, and this is what his sentiments right before he was killed, So if his dream had come true at that time, ghettos would not be ghettos. They would be functioning, beautiful places of learning and helping each other. And it's John B is a very amazing person, and he's been talking at my art exhibitions, and when you hear this man talk, he talks about how much hope he has in the next generation. He's in his 70s, and he just tells you, that you got these tools of modern technology, like he would go door to door, neighborhood to neighborhood in Memphis, and like talk to different gangs, and convince them to not war against each other, talk to kids and tell them, instead of being a gang, why don't you join the Invaders? And they were militant, like they were militant, but they never incited any violence, and that's what they were blamed for. And that was the misconception and the lie that was propagated by the police at that time, which is the same tactics they use now. They start the violence. It's the cops that start everything, and then they try to blame the activists. So
Absolutely, they do.
yeah, I mean, it got to the point where now they're laying bricks down on the streets just to promote, or to push people to use them against the cops. And what it actually is a big scam about insurance. Like these insurance companies, these businesses, they want to have their windows broken by the bricks to get an insurance claim and stuff. So it's a twisted thing what's going on with the protests nowadays. And there's so much momentum with the Black Lives Matter movement. It's like never before has there been a movement like the Black Lives Matter, and they've reached every nation, every culture, has embraced it, and it's so sickening how obvious it is that there is a war against Black people. There's a war against art. There's a war against comedy. There's a war against music. We're living in some really crazy times, but all in all, I have hope in the next generation, in our generation. I feel like right now we had to put the whole world on pause, to save the earth. Like Mother Nature was just huffing and puffing, and we had to do this to clean up the air, clean up our minds, and I think that we're going to see the wave that's going to happen when we do figure out how to deal with the COVID thing. Even if we're in hazmat suits and going to concerts and it's going to look like a lunar landing everywhere because everyone's in astronaut gear, we're still going to witness that wave of excitement when people will be like, oh my God, what? We can have live music again? Yeah.
Kapow, baby!
Just be careful not to overdose, because then you're going to have your brain taken over by a fun guy.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, we'll see.
Maybe
But
that's
hey,
what
man,
we need. You're a fun guy.
I'm a manicotti over here. You know what I mean?
Speaking of manicotti, is that an Italian flag right up there?
Yeah, it's an Italian flag.
I love Italian. I can say some things in Italian that are really ridiculous, but it always makes Italian people really happy. If you ever seen Italian go figa borealis,
Well, you do realize that. You do realize RRBS is controlled by Italians.
You know what? I'm glad, because I am such a big fan of ragu. My daughter and my wife, they make a ragu, and I'm not even joking. There's no onions or garlic in it, but they shred sweet potato. They shred it, right, and it caramelizes in the sauce, and it's tomato and they put like these flavors like yeast paste and like even I'm not sure, but maybe even fish sauce or like a little bit of anchovy, and it's like, I swear to God, it tastes like Martin Scorsese's grandmother's spaghetti or something like that. I'm really good pasta in Italy a lot, and I'm so amazed that they were able to reinvent ragu, and there's no meat in it.
Yeah,
that's one thing I've been really kind of gravitating towards also during this pandemic, is kind of staying away from the meats, and the concentration camp chicken and beef, and cows. They're such lovely animals,
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that as a vegetarian. So I.
Oh, right, there you go. You knew far way ahead even before I did.
Oh man, just put some garlic in me on me and throw me in the oven, baby.
Don't forget that butter.
Well, I want to thank you for being on my program, man.
I want to thank you for having a picture of E.T. sodomizing Michael Jackson. I've never seen that picture, and E.T. is really, he's having his way. And look, Michael Jackson has just taken it and just enjoying it, in his youth. And Iggy Pop is watching. Wow. And it's all in Playboy. Wow. You know, that's the future, baby.
E.T.'s kind of acting like a fuckboy a little bit. I don't know.
E.T.'s taking advantage. I mean, but the good thing is at least you see that E.T.'s both hands are in the photo. You know, because if not that, you know, that light, it'd be going on somewhere where there maybe shouldn't be a light.
Absolutely. But hey, man, thank you for being on Planet Pietro. I really appreciate it. And hey,
man,
don't you be a stranger on this program.
We're neighbors in television land. I'm on Tuesdays. You're on Wednesdays. And
I'm on Wednesdays, 7 o'clock in Eastern Time in America, 12 a.m. in London.
Wow.
1 a.m.
I only know that we're 10 o'clock Berlin PM time, and I just been meaning to tell you that you know, I really don't want you to do as much drugs as you've been doing on my show.
Yeah,
it's good to see you sober. You know, like
gotta work on that. But you know, there's something about live streams. Just get that itch. You know, I just you know, get that. It's just, thank you so much, man. This has been breaking news on RRBS.
Oh wait. Pietro.
Yes.
Help me. Help me. Hey, you want a screwdriver?
Yeah.
Look, it's the most racist band ever. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't like you. It's Screwdriver, a cover of Screwdriver.
I kept feet around on the guitar like this. Like this. Well, I see that would bounce back in my head, see, like this. You know I ain't did no good. Man said to drop that atom bomb. It's an old song that I put together back when I was 18 years old. Told Hitler about Tokyo Rose. You know I love that woman. She about to put on a out of door. I should have known. Baby, I just can't help you none. You know we did no good. Man, since they dropped that atom bomb.
The records they're putting out really are about the most interesting records that anybody's putting out. You know, I have trouble with, like, you know, when Stell Davis gets way out of tune, I have a little trouble with that.
Yeah, I love you, baby. I tell what I do.
It's just his style, you know. I mean, it's sounds out of tune when you hear it to begin with because you're not used to hearing that tuning. But when you listen to it for 5 or 10 minutes, all of a sudden it sounds like it's in tune. You know, you just fall into his tuning.
I know the hole in baby's head. 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 I live together with my family in an old house. I have a big family. I have lots of brothers and lots of sisters. I have lots of baby brothers and sisters all over the house crying, screaming, crawling, and playing in dangerous areas, moaning and wailing like dirty, disarrayed toys. They fall down a lot. My mother and father fight all the time. My mother leaves the house dirty all the time, always feeding the babies. always leaving the babies crying and screaming while she cries all the time. And then she looks up from the bed screaming at the top of her lungs, hoping someone understands her. We ain't got much money to buy much electricity, and the house is always dark and old. My dad thinks he owns the house, and I'm so afraid someone's going to get tired of him coming and going and walking real loud and owning all the house, rattling drawers in his bedroom, slamming doors all the time, leaving all the time, staying out late all the time, coming home real late at night. I'd like to think it's normal in my old house. Our old house is in the middle of about 7 or 6 vacant houses in the woods off an old deserted road in the neighborhood in the woods. I like to think everything is all right in my old house, my old dark house, but I know it isn't. I have always had bad feelings about all the garbage and dirt and darkness and spider webs and bad smells, and bad feelings scare you. Bad feelings about the kids, never being fed and being too cold and not having any toys, not having enough toys, fighting over the toys, screaming and crying over the other kid's broken single toy. My mother always walking around in her robe and crying and never having any soap to wash piles of dirty dishes that she's always too upset to wash, and my dad always coming in and out of the house night and day and never speaking to anyone, never speaking to no one, and never speaking to anyone. What's happening? Like nothing ever happened. I went and thought that they had killed someone, and I got real scared. I got real scared and went into vertigo at the thought. I went and thought that they had killed someone. And then I thought they had killed this someone. Then I thought, how had they killed this someone? Who was this someone have they killed? And then to reach and thought, then I reached and thought, I snapped that they had killed one of my brothers or sisters. One of the many, one of the babies. One of the many, one of the babies, one of the many. One of the many, one of the many. I thought they had killed one of the kids. One of the babies. They had killed one of the kids. They had killed the kid, like one of their poor broken little toys. They had killed a kid. And then I got real paranoid, and I started thinking, and I got to feeling someone's thoughts on mine, and I got to feeling their thoughts on mine, and I could feel that they were thinking of me and thinking of my thoughts. And I got real paranoid. Oh my God. I know the hole in baby's head.
What a cram! And we're from New York City. And we drove 3,000 miles to play for you people. And somebody told me you people are crazy, but I'm not so sure about that. You seem to be all right with it. The way I walk is just the way I walk. The way I talk is just the way I walk. The way I smile is just the way I smile. Touch me, baby, and I go. The way I love is just the way I love. Oh, and we the one I'm thinking of. Touch me, baby, oh, baby, so good. Sometimes I think I wanna, but I don't know where my good. Oh, no. The way I walk is just the way I walk. The way I talk is just the way I talk. The way I smile is just the way I smile. Touch me, baby, and I go wild. The way I love is just the way I love. Oh, you be the one I'm thinking of. Nothing you wanna, but I don't know if I should. All the way you love me, got to clear my style. Oh, little baby, I will say bye-bye. Love me, baby, love me right. Love me, I'm morning, I'm good and night, all right. Yeah, let's rock it, baby. Rock. Come on, it's a damn right there. Way you love me, got to clear my style. Oh, little baby, I will say bye-bye. Love me, baby, love me right. Love me, morning, I'm good and night, all right. All right. Oh, I want to have an old buddy when you will see your face.
I want to thank all my guests. I want to thank all my guests that I had here tonight on Planet Pietro. Man, none of this would be possible without you guys, man. Thank you so much for being on the program. And I guess comes that hour where we have to shut down the bar. Last call, if they say. And I'm just going to go ahead and leave you guys with a little bit of word of advice. If you're not careful, you might just learn something. Thank you, everyone, very much. Have a good night.
De jaren 60. Veel werd er in die tijd uitgedrukt in muziek. De jongeren gebruikten de muziek om duidelijk te maken dat de maatschappij, die hun ouders hadden gecreëerd, hen niet aanstond. Een maatschappij gebaseerd op de ervaringen van hun ouders met de oorlog.
The ways of the world are making women from little girls. Give them joy. Give them joy. When I think of who I am. As long as you can breathe, you can die. The ways of the world are making women from little girls.